What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy and I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite movies of 2007. So, this is part of a series I'm doing where I rank my 10 favorite movies of each year since I was born, and it's also part of my top 10 Tuesdays. And so this week is going to be the year 2007, which was a really good year for movies. There's going to be quite a few movies that aren't on this list that a lot of people are going to think should be, and I can completely understand and everything. It was hard. This was one of the hardest lists to make because there were so many good movies that year. I'm going to go ahead and give a few honorable mentions. No Country for Old Men, Sweeney Todd, License to Wed, and those are the main ones I can think of. If I think of any more, I'll mention them by the end of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 10 is Shrek III. This is my least favorite Shrek movie for sure, but I do like this one quite a bit. I think it's a good movie. It's got a good story and everything. I like that Shrek is having to prepare to be a father. He's nervous throughout the whole movie and stuff like that. I think it's a good little character arc for Shrek and everything. I don't know that the movie is necessarily super great or anything, but it's a fun time, and it's one that I don't think deserves the hate that it gets and everything. So it's number 10. And number 9 is Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. This is a pretty good ending to the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. This is where the franchise should have ended and everything. It's a little bit overlong and a little bit overstuffed, but it's a pretty good movie and everything. It's got some really good action sequences. The whole big scene where they're fighting on the ship and stuff with Davy Jones and stuff and all of his crew, and they're going in the big swirly pool thingy in the ocean and stuff. It's just so freaking cool and everything. It's just a really good movie and everything. I don't, like I said, it's my least favorite out of the original Pirates trilogy, but I still think it's a pretty good one, and it's where the franchise should have ended and everything, because if they would have ended it there, it would have been a really great trilogy. So, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is number 9. And number 8 is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I hate having this one this low because I'm such a big fan of Harry Potter, but I personally feel like the other movies on this list are just better. This is a really good entry in the franchise. It's one of the most talked about ones too, because this is the one that has Umbridge, who is one of the most hated characters in all of fiction and everything. She's just a horrible character and everything, but Imelda Stanton does an amazing job playing her, and really she carries this movie pretty well. Like you hate her throughout the whole movie and everything, and she's like one of those villains that carries the movie kind of in a way. But to me, the biggest payoff in the whole movie is her getting her demise at the end of the movie. But this movie is a really great one. The book is one of my favorites in the series, so it's not one of my most favorite movies in the franchise because it's one that follows the least, but it's still a really good time and everything. And I've grown to really love it over the years and everything. So Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is number 8, and number 7 is Ratatouille. Now, when this movie came out, this was the first Pixar movie that I was just not looking forward to. I didn't have much hype for it for some reason and everything. Just the thought of a rat wanting to be a chef just did not appeal to me and everything. And then I saw the movie and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's a Pixar classic, and it's one of Pixar's best movies. It came out in their golden era and everything, and it's a really good time. And it's got a good story. You would think a movie about a rat that wants to be a chef wouldn't be as poignant and cleverly written as it is, but Brad Bird just did a really great job with this movie, writing and directing it, and it's a really good story. So Ratatouille is number 7, and number 6 is I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Now, this movie is one that I know is kind of a controversial pick, and most people wouldn't even consider giving this movie a spot on a top 10 list because it's a really, really over-the-top screwball comedy, and it's definitely not going to be for everybody. I can totally get, this is one of the Adam Sandler movies that I do get why some people don't like and everything. Like you just have to be, you either love it or hate it and everything. And this one, I personally love. I think it's a really good movie. It's really raunchy and everything. And there are some mean-spirited jokes, but there's a lot of good-spirited jokes too. And there's also a lot of heart to this movie and everything. And like under all of the vulgarness and the raunchiness, there's a good message about getting along with each other despite our differences and stuff like that. So it has a good message to it. I do enjoy this movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie. It has its flaws. There are things that could be better in it, but I do think it's a good movie, and I don't think it deserves the hate that it gets and everything. So it's number 6 on my top 10 of 2007, and number 5 is Superbad. Now, when I think of raunchy comedy classics from my teen years, this is one of the first movies that pops in my head. I absolutely love Superbad. It is a hilarious blast from start to finish. The whole journey of Seth and Evan wanting to lose their virginity at this party and stuff is really well written, and their friendship is just so well written. It's like very, very realistically written and everything. And that's something that I loved about early Seth Rogen movies, is even though they were funny premises and stuff, they were also realistic movies too, that like you could see it happening in everyday life and everything. And you could see a lot of this stuff happening, except for the stuff with McLovin and the cops and stuff like that. That stuff would never happen in real life, but that stuff is a lot of fun too. And some of the highlights of the movie and everything, you can't help but love Fogel and everything. And it's just a really, really great movie. So Superbad is number 5, and number 4 is Knocked Up. And I really debated whether I liked this one or Superbad more. They flip and flop and everything, but I decided to go with this one a little bit more just because it has such a great supporting cast and everything. All of Seth Rogen's crew is there and everything, and one of my personal favorites, Jason Segel, is in here, and he's just absolutely hilarious and everything. But Jonah Hill is hilarious too, and Jay Baruchel, all of Martin Starr, they're all hilarious in their roles in here and everything. And it's just really, really good story, and it's one that every time I watch it, I just really love it. It's one of my favorite Judd Apatow comedies. It's one of my favorite raunchy comedies in general, and one of my favorite Seth Rogen movies. And it's just a really, really great comedy movie and everything. So Knocked Up is number 4, and number 3 is Hairspray. I absolutely love this movie. This is one of the rare remakes that I feel is 100% better than the original, and I love the original Hairspray as well and everything, but this is one of the remakes where I feel like it is completely better. Part of it is also I just have a bias towards this one. I love this movie because me and my best friends went to see it when it first came out in the theater and everything. This was like the first movie that we went, one of the first movies that we ever went to see together. This one and Chuck and Larry and everything. And I think that's part of why I love these movies so much, is I have those sentimental memories with my best friends watching this movie for the first time, and it's just a really, really great one. And another movie I want to give an honorable mention to that came out this year was Wild Hogs, which is another good one with John Travolta and everything. But Hairspray is a really fun musical movie. I love the cast and the story. The songs are great, and I'll talk more about it when I review it, but I really love Hairspray. So it's number 3, and number 2 is High School Musical 2. I absolutely love this movie, and I almost put this one at number 1, but my number 1 favorite is my number 1. It's been my number 1 since it came out and everything. But High School Musical 2 is a really, really amazing movie. It is a ton of fun. It's got great songs. It ups the ante of everything that was great about the first movie. They up it in this one, and the performances are a lot better. The singing is a lot better in this one. Zac Efron actually sings this time. And nothing against Drew Seeley singing in the first one, he was good and everything, but I think Zac Efron's voice is even better and is better suited for the movies and everything, and it's just a really, really good time. I really love High School Musical 2 and everything, and it doesn't have that same impact that first movie does in a lot of ways, but this one still is just as important to me as the first one, and really the third one. All three of them are equally as important to me and everything because of how much me and my best friend have bonded over these movies and stuff. So High School Musical 2 is easily one of my favorite movies of 2007 and everything, and it's barely number 2. And coming in at number 1 is Spider-Man 3. And now most people wouldn't put this one on their top 10 favorite movies of 2007 because this is one of the most hated superhero movies of all time, and I get it's definitely not as good as the first 2 Spider-Man movies. It's definitely not on the same level as those 2, but it is still a really good movie, and it's easily my favorite movie of that year. Part of it is also that this movie helps me through one of the worst times of my life and stuff as well, and everything. This one and the other 2 Spider-Man movies, I kind of watched all 3 of them right after one of the most traumatic things that ever happened to me happened. So I kind of have a special love for it because it helped me get through such a rough patch in my life and everything. And so I kind of have a sentimental love for Spider-Man 3. Plus, I just absolutely love this trilogy and everything. And I feel like they're all 3 perfect movies and everything. And they're just really fun movies and stuff. So Spider-Man 3 is definitely my least favorite of the trilogy, but it's still a great movie, and it's my favorite movie of 2007 for sure and everything. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite movies of 2007 are. If you want to, don't want to do a full ranking, tell me your favorite. If you want, tell me your least favorite too. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.